welcome to City Grow Live. We are here once again with the infamous Channing from the Account Pro team. What do they call you on the Account Pro? Master Channing?
Yeah, Lord of the Accounts.
Lord of the
I think is
I like that.
what I prefer anyway.
Okay, Lord of the Accounts, Channing. All right, well we're stoked to have you again. You know a lot about kiosks, and that's what we're talking about today. So let me give a quick intro, and we'll dive right in. Does that work?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So we talk a lot about retention. Starting the process of retention has everything to do with collecting data.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different ways to do it. And we've talked a lot. Well, we try to be really not specific to City Grow most of the time to just help everyone in their marketing and retargeting and in their efforts, right? This one's a little bit more catered towards City Grow since we get asked about the kiosk a lot.
Right.
What does it do? What are the benefits of it? So I think we'll probably go full scale in kiosk wherever you take us, Channing. But as an overall benefit to retention software, why use a kiosk and what are the benefits?
Sure. Well, I think kind of the overarching kind of theme to the whole point of a kiosk is you can get customers to do things right there in store. Because I mean, I know that we hope that people do things, and if you ask them to do something, you just kind of hope that they will then go and do it. But the greatest thing about a kiosk is that it allows you in a controlled environment to interact with your customers and to get information that is going to benefit you as well as them. So that's kind of the overall theme.
Paint a picture of a kiosk in my mind, because there's a booth kiosk that I go to the mall and I see.
Right.
Some people imagine like an ATM machine kiosk. What kiosk are we talking about?
So we're talking about a tablet. We use
iPads mostly.
We use iPads mostly. They're usually housed, in kind of a security housing. But what people would see is they come in and there's just a tablet and it's forward-facing, a customer-facing tablet, and they can come in and how we design ours is for the most simple, quick use that the customer can experience, so that the transaction it's painless. It's something that benefits both of you. Mm-hmm. So typically what people see is they'll come in, they'll see a tablet, they'll see your company's logo, all those kind of things right there, and then a place for them to put an identifier like a phone number or an email address or something like that for them to just sign in.
Cool. So it's really just the iPad in a case. The term iPad kiosk has come up over the last few years, so not to confuse anyone about kiosk. Okay, so sorry to interrupt you. Additional benefits of kiosks.
Yeah.
Did you get through the main benefits that you wanted?
Well, I mean, so here's some other of the benefits. So they kind of fall out of that. You can get customers to do things right there.
Okay.
So you can get information. So you can gather phone numbers, emails, other information that'll help you in your marketing endeavors. Whether it be what are your interests, all those kind of things. Not only that, but kiosks allow you to have digital coupons. Digital coupons are a huge benefit. They help you to be able to not only to have great coupons that are going out, they're relevant, you can quickly update them, they're just really awesome, but you can track them. And the last time I was on with you on Facebook Live, we talked about being able to track your offers. And so that's a huge thing about having a kiosk there. Not only that, but
so let's break that down, because I think you're right. That is huge. Why is it easier to track offers, say on the kiosk, than it is without it? Or what are other options are there that are kiosk like to track offers?
Sure. So I mean, what most people do is, honestly, they get like a paper coupon or something like that, or someone comes in and shows them a text, and they're if you don't sit there with a paper and pencil, or you have a stack of them at the end of the day, you don't track how many people actually use your offer.
Yeah. So you might be able to put in a POS system and track a button and then do that. But you're right. If you don't have that, then the worst is when people come with the phone, because they get a text and it brings them in and it works. And they come in and they show the employee, hey, I got my phone. It says I get 20% off. And the employee just types out 20%. There is zero way to track that back to that.
And that's the biggest downfall of even when you have a POS system. So and you put the coupon in it, so often employees don't actually go through the steps because it's like a couple extra buttons. They'll just hit like minus button or discount button, and then they'll subtract it out. And it's so much nicer and easier on a kiosk because that's already programmed in. Either you've done it or you've had a customer success person like me help you kind of set that up. So they come in, they hit a button, it's redeemed, and all of a sudden you know what's happening.
It's tied to that campaign that brought
exactly.
it in. Okay. So let me break this down in the user experience because I think what you're saying is so important. So starting with your first benefit that you mentioned of capturing data, we're not sending people to go home and get online or to get on their phone. They can actually do it without leaving the point of sale. Right there, put it in.
The greatest example for me is, no joke, I went to a brand new grocery store this week. I went in, they have a loyalty club and everything like that. They're like, would you like to sign up? And I'm like, yes, I would, because I'm thinking about coming here often. And they're like, awesome. They handed me a card and said, oh, you have to go log in online, put your information right here, and then we'll have it in our system.
Yeah. And that's why I have 5 Subway cards still. I don't know if they're still doing it that way, but that's how they used to do it.
And no joke, have I signed up online? No. Am I likely to? Probably not. Yeah. I like to think that I'm not a lazy person, but still, that's just so much effort.
Well, stats are extremely low. It's not just you; it's America.
If they had asked me right there, "Hey, will you type in your phone number right here?" I would have typed my phone number in. They would have had my information, and I would have been a loyalty member, and I would have given them the information they needed to market to me.
So there's no it's much more frictionless.
Yeah.
Much less friction, I should say. Okay, so they put the information right there. Now they're signed up.
Right.
They go on their merry way. They get a campaign sent to them via text or email or whatever that says, hey, we want you to come back in.
Yeah.
You go back in. Now that offer's waiting for you on the kiosk. And by redeeming it on that, we're redeeming it and getting credit for it. And so you can see it in your campaign.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Not only that, but a huge thing that people don't realize is one of the most important things about marketing is knowing where are your customers listening to you. So being able to attach an offer to, for instance, a text or an email allows you to know, okay, your customers are listening to this specific message. They're listening it through this channel, and they're redeeming it on your kiosk. And so you can actually know where these things are coming from and where you should be putting your marketing money and your efforts. And so it's just a huge benefit to not only you as a business, but to your customers, because it's clean and easy for them. I forget coupons all the time, and so that's like, and are you going to honor that or not? Is it expired? I mean, and it's just right there on the kiosk. If it's still viable, it'll be there. If it expires or disappears, it won't even be there for them to dispute it because it's gone. It expired. So it makes things clearer.
So we had a session a couple weeks ago talked about digitizing your loyalty platform. So this is a lot of the same benefits as digitizing a loyalty platform.
Absolutely.
In fact, have you talked about the loyalty card on the kiosk? I know we talked about offers.
We haven't talked about that yet.
So
that was the next thing. That was the next step.
I'm cutting you off.
Good job. No. So the next thing about having a digital kiosk is you can put your loyalty right there in a digital form for your customers. And as I've been working with several of our customers, a lot of our customers have been moving from paper punch cards to a digital form. And I have heard over and over and over again feedback from them of how grateful their customers are that they don't have to keep track of their own paper cards. And in fact, they've said that having a kiosk for check-in when they're doing a punch card has been faster than people fumbling through their wallets and purses trying to find that card. And then if they don't have it, they'll, do you honor, they said, oh, well, I had 9 of the 10 and this is my, 10th bid. You honor that, like all these things. And it just cleans it up. They're like, you're going to keep my points for me?
I have records of everything.
It's right there, and you can easily subtract. And honestly, not only is it great for customers, but number 2, you can check and see how many loyalty points you're floating out there.
Yeah.
So you can track and you can start forecasting how much you're going to be spending in these loyalty offers.
You don't know how many punches are in paper cards that are floating out there?
Amazingly no. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
So with digital loyalty, and not only that, but it protects you from fraud. I mean, in reality,
there's some security aspects of
it. Honestly, in the scheme of things, digital punch cards are a cost-efficient way of protecting yourself against some of those more fraudulent people who try and game systems.
Because no one can fake a punch in a paper card, can they?
Well, yeah. I'm just kidding. That's beyond the technology that we have, John. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's the. Okay, so what else can you do with the kiosk? We talked about redeeming offers. We talked about the loyalty aspect of it and it hosting your loyalty punch card.
Yeah.
What else can you do with it?
Just a couple. Two more things really is waivers are one.
Okay.
You know, you can kind of move your waiver program onto a kiosk, which allows to have digital records. You don't have to have these giant cabinets and things, and have your employees going through to check if people have filled one out, and then also if it's still valid. Because most people want people filling out waivers every year, and so. But the other part of the benefit is you can make a kiosk a part of your in-store process.
Okay.
And if you make a kiosk a part of your in-store process, you can ensure that your customers are going to be interacting with it.
So you're saying the best way to use it isn't to just put it by the door and say, if you want to use it, go for it. It's to actually make it a part of your process.
Yeah, one of the things that I was going to mention later is, if you're kind of feeling like, well, I have a kiosk and it's not working, what do I do, kind of a thing. Something that I laugh to myself when I say it. It's kind of dumb, but like a kiosk by itself, away from an employee, is a lonely kiosk.
Yeah.
It's a lonely and useless kiosk because
it's got a sad vision of the kiosk
I know,
by itself.
Right? Just dust getting on it, like a little spider web. I don't know, but it really is true. And this is, in all honesty, the closer that your kiosk is to your employees, and the more that your employees interact with the kiosk, the more successful your kiosk will be. So I guess it's a preemptive thing, but if you feel like you have a kiosk and your kiosk isn't doing much for you, reevaluate where your kiosk is, what's your attitude of your employees about the kiosk, and not only that, evaluate the process. See how your employees are interacting with the kiosk and with your own customers. Because at the end of the day, the attitude of the employees and where the kiosk will be will either sync or help push your whole kiosk movement forward.
And I'm glad you say that too, because a lot of people, their vision of getting the kiosk is, hey, we don't have to do anything, right? And to some degree they can do that, but the stats that we see when they put it in the interaction of the employee is night and day difference. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I think that is just a common thing, is I'm going to get a digital service so that I don't have to touch it. And while it takes a lot of the hands off of the process, there still are the benefits of that invitation is astronomical.
It's the invitation.
Yeah.
Again, I'm going to use another grocery store reference. I go to a major grocery store. I walk up, they start checking my things, and they say to me, "How are you doing? Do you have a loyalty card?"
Yeah.
"Oh, I don't have a loyalty card." "Oh, so I can't scan it." Do you want to enter in your phone number right here?" "Oh, sure." I mean, they're scanning me. I might as well do it. That's a part of their process. And they are successfully getting me to sign in every single time because I get something out of it. Yeah.
Some people will put in their phone number, some people won't.
Yeah. It is the most natural thing ever, and it's a part of their process. So if you make it a part of your process, people don't think twice about it. Because I don't think twice about giving my number.
Yeah.
Because I benefit from it, and it's all just, it's what you do. It's what I do when I'm in line.
Hey, now I know a little bit more about you.
Yeah, now you do.
So
more than
okay.
You probably wanted to.
Well, so you answered this a little bit, but I just want to ask the question again, because I was going to ask it. So for people that are watching this that are City Road clients,
sure,
and they've got a kiosk, they feel like it's being underutilized or maybe just not utilizing it at all. What would you say to them? Is there anything else? I know you kind of
sure. We'll just recap it real quick. Yeah. I wrote them down just to make sure. Honestly, check to see where your kiosk is in your store process. Just shadow some employees, or maybe you are one of the main employees. But evaluate how the kiosk fits in your process. Another one is if you do have other employees, that are managing the store, watch the interaction. I mean, just kind of shadow them. Don't tell your employees, "Oh, I'm watching for your use of the kiosk." No, just go watch the experience, watch what happens. I mean, not only is this going to benefit you with your kiosk, but it's going to benefit you in a whole lot of other ways as well. It's just occasionally evaluating the process that your employees are having with the customers. But watch how employees are interacting with the kiosk and the customer. See if they're inviting. I mean, that is probably the most basic thing, is an invitation to use the kiosk.
You know what I've seen that's been really successful on that is I've seen success when store owners write down the invitation. And this isn't a sales pitch. I mean, you don't have to get your employees to persuade people. It's an invitation. If they do it, great. If not, it's okay. But write down a very simple phrase. I've seen them take that, put on a sticker and put on the back of their iPad kiosk so employees know exactly what to say. And it's something simple like, hey, would you like to sign up for rewards today? Or have you checked in for rewards today? Or even tying the incentive to it, like, would you like a free drink by signing up for rewards today? Something like that.
John stealing my thunder.
Write it down.
My next two things were retrain. My next one was retrain. You know,
you get
train
next
right
one
there.
then, yeah.
There you go. So you retrain. That's a great way of retraining. Give them that thing. Let them know. And then the last one, which John said, was evaluate loyalty. Do you have loyalty? First one. I mean, loyalty is a great way of getting people because it's so easy and clean to be like, oh, did you get your loyalty? You know.
And in today's world, it's expected.
Yeah.
Right? People they expect you to have.
Oh, exactly. And so if you don't have loyalty and you feel like your kiosk isn't doing anything, think about having loyalty. I mean, it doesn't have to be a big thing, but make it something that customers can work towards and it's something desirable. The second thing is, do you have loyalty? Okay, and you're not getting used to your kiosk. I would first evaluate if your employees are inviting, because that's probably the biggest thing. But the second thing is, if your employees are inviting, evaluate what your loyalty is. Honestly, you want your loyalty to make financial sense for you, but it also needs to be something desirable that people want to work towards. Awesome. So you can always revamp your loyalty as well if that's something that you feel. If everything else is going right, then it's probably something there that you can revamp and kind of help.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm just going to check for some questions real quick in here and make sure, because I think we've kind of got through the bulk of what we wanted to get through today.
Sure.
Thank you, by the way, for bringing your knowledge to City Grow Live.
You bet.
From the customer success team. Okay, so we've got a question from Sean. What is a good number of signups on a kiosk per week? What is the most one of your accounts get? So yeah, high, low kind of.
High, low. Okay, so it's all based on really your business.
Yeah, and how busy you are.
Yeah, I have a couple people that I've worked with, that I've helped, and they are very happy. They get 4 check-ins a day.
Which I would think is low, but if you only have
if it's your business, right? And I mean, and for some people that's great. I mean, they have 5 or 6 customers that come in a day, and they're getting 4 check-ins, which is great. I mean, obviously it depends on your business. Now we can have the polar opposite. Had a company who was having 70 check-ins, 80 check-ins a day.
Every day.
Every day. They're a very busy restaurant. They're very well known. But I mean, for them, a bad day is 50 check-ins. So, and that isn't supposed to be meant to discourage anyone. But really, what you want to do is you want to look at what's your foot traffic, and then you want to look at how many people are checking in. Honestly, if the majority or all or most of your people are signing in for your foot traffic, that's actually a pretty good process. Yeah. There's definitely room for improvement. 100% is the goal. But if you're looking at it and your foot traffic's 50 people and you've got 1 or 2 sign-ups a day, your process needs to be worked on. Yeah.
So I'll give you some insights from the stats that I see. Obviously, I'm not on the phone as much as you are, but I looked at a lot of stats, right? So, from what we see, foot traffic, you should be targeting 30 to 50% of those to sign up for loyalty. Mm-hmm. Like you said, I would love 100%.
Right.
It doesn't happen. But so look at how many transactions you have a day. See if you can get 30 to 50% of those to check in. Now, here's some numbers just to throw in to keep in mind. We're about building networks, right? Our average location, right, it's a long game. Our average location in their first 12 months will get 2 to 3, high would be 5 to 10,000 people in a network.
Yeah.
If you're getting 10 new people a day to check in on your kiosk, and you've got to look because you might have 50 check-ins, but only 5 of those are new.
Right.
So you do want to look at both of those, how many of are new people, new contacts versus others. But if I'm getting 10 people a day to check in over a year, I'm hitting that 3,000 plus mark.
Right.
Take away holidays and days you're off, but you're getting 2,000 to 3,000 people. That's phenomenal.
That's great.
And so just to put some numbers out there so that people can kind of put it in perspective. Okay, let's see what else. Once a customer meets the amount of loyalty points to acquire a discount or free item, do the loyalty points start over? That's a great question, how it works on our kiosk. So what options do they have once somebody has reached their limit? What are the options?
Yeah, fantastic question. Honestly, you can go different routes. The one that I'd recommend is yes, they would deduct. So what happens, and there's actually a couple cool different routes that we've been kind of exploring and actually doing more with our customers, is people have actually been doing tiered kind of rewards.
So you hit 3 free drink, 7 free fries, 10 free meal.
Burger or something, burger, and or something like exactly like that, or meal, or whatever it is. But people have been doing tiers, and so that's actually been really effective for some, especially restaurants and things like that have lots of products, stuff like that. But there's actually a lot of application for a lot of different industries. But what you can do is you can work towards those things, and then they deduct out. And that's something you can't do really with a punch card. I mean, you can, but it's a waste of a punch card. I mean, honestly, how much money would you spend if people keep turning in punch cards at 3, but it's meant for like 10, kind of thing. And so you can decide and make a financially savvy kind of decision for yourself of, okay, I can tailor things to what people want. Because some people are all about that short instant gratification. They're like 3 times, get a free thing, that's great. So that's kind of the goal, and it's something that you can do. So yes, you can have it deduct when people actually redeem.
So they have the option. You can, okay. Cool. I think we're running out of time for today, so I'm going to cut it off. But I really appreciate, again, you being here. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Thank you for commenting. We have a lot of knowledge from the account pro team. We'd love to get out there. It is a matter of getting the topics. So a lot more to come here in the future. Keep following us, and we appreciate that. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you being here with us. Don't forget to check out our other videos and like and subscribe to our Facebook channel so that you can see what we're up to. We'd love to get more information out there to you. Also, we've got podcasts available on iTunes, so check them out. We hope to see you there.